Welcome to Know and Awaken Your Soul's Unlimited Potential. My name is Eva, and as always, I'm so happy to have you here with me. And today I'm going to start off my video by asking a very beautiful question, but very insightful question for you. And the question is, why do you think that all of this suffering is currently happening right now? Why do people incarnate to situations filled with so much poverty where there are other people who incarnate into very rich backgrounds, like they incarnate into wealthy families? Why is it that people choose or incarnate in countries that are plagued with war and they only know war for most of their life and other people are not? Why do you think that happens? And I've really been asking this question to myself, to my soul, and trying to find my own answer to it. And that answer is what I'm going to be sharing in this current video. But I'm also curious to know your answer to this. So if you feel called to share, do comment down below and share your perspective. You never know. You might actually inspire someone else out here who doesn't really have an idea of how to go about answering this question for themselves. So let's get started. So one thing that you might not realize if you're watching this video is that you chose the current human experience you're living. That means that your soul actually chose your current life, your family, the people who you are going to be around with most of your life, your friends, your gender, your name, all of that, almost all of the experiences that you've had in your life up to now, your soul chose. And the reason for that is that you were supposed to learn certain lessons based on all these people that you have around you and all these experiences you keep on attracting over and over again. You were supposed to learn a lesson. You choose to incarnate in order for our souls to grow and evolve. Maybe your soul chose to learn how to forgive, so you were put, or your soul now chose to put itself in situations where you're gonna experience so much betrayal from all your loved ones, just so that you could learn the true meaning of forgiveness. For some people, it could be that you incarnated into situations where you were supposed to learn how to be compassionate. So it could be that you were born into a wealthy family, and maybe around you, look around you, like, okay, there are so many people who are struggling with famine, hunger and all that, and I could actually help them with the money that I have. So your sense of compassion was supposed to be ignited by you being born into privileged situation, and that's how I want you to look at it. Okay, so you did choose the experiences that you have. It's only that a lot of people come here and then we completely forget the reason why we chose to come and have this experience. We completely disconnect from our souls, we completely disconnect from our soul's purpose, and we keep on making the same mistakes that we've made in previous lifetime, meaning that we actually don't learn the lessons that we were supposed to learn in this lifetime, meaning that you're gonna keep on incarnating over and over again until the point you actually learn the lesson that your soul was supposed to learn. And that could actually happen in so many lifetimes, which is the case for a lot of us currently here. Okay, so now you did choose your own experience. So my question will be, then why then would a soul choose to be born in such painful and hardship situation? Like, even you, when you're watching this, like, who would actually ever choose pain over, comfort? I don't think anyone would. I know for sure if you were to give me a choice right now, I'd definitely go for the comfort side based on the pain. Who wants to deal with pain? But there's so many souls who actually choose that experience, and that's the question I've been asking myself. Why is this happening? What actually inspired this question for me was that there is a video that I watch on YouTube on one of these channels. I forget the name, but I'm gonna share the link. If I find the link to that video, I'm gonna share it down below in the description box. But in this video, it's a lady who was being interviewed, and she was talking about her experience about having certain organizations in Haiti. So she volunteers in Haiti. So she says that she got inspired one day to go down to Haiti and help out with the situation that were currently there. There are a lot of people who lacked food, who are struggling, missing medical equipment and all that. So she decided, with the little money she had saved, that she was gonna travel all the way to Haiti and help out in any way that she could. Like, she had decided to donate her time and her money to that. So she gets there, and The situation at that time was so horrible. There were so many people struggling, and she was able actually to interact with the community and set up a program where she could start feeding kids and all that. Then she got inspired to go into now the medical side of it, where she was helping people in hospital, because apparently that they were also struggling with medical supplies, and a lot of people could not afford to get the medicines or whatever they needed to heal themselves. So she decided to set up a program to help with that also. And in that hospital, she discovered a certain room where it was kind of like a room, a separate room from the hospital, where they kept kids who are differently abled. Okay, like basically the culture in Haiti. I don't know if it's the same culture right now because I'm not there, I'm not on the ground. But she's saying at the time, the culture there was that as long as a child was born differently able, what they will do is they literally reject this kid, and a lot of these people will actually allow this kid to die because they considered this to be a curse to their family. So in order to reject that curse, they would let the child die. So this hospital had so many of those kids locked up in a room in the worst conditions ever imagined, just living there. No one was feeding them, no one was caring for them. They were living in such horrible condition. And this thing actually really touched this lady. Like, she had to do something, because it was really bad. And if you haven't checked out that, I will encourage you to check it out. I'm gonna make sure that I leave a link to that at the description box. Okay, so this is the culture, this is the belief system in that place, that as long as you're differently abled, we're not gonna take care of you. You are slaughtered for death. So she decided to do something about that. So number one, it was first of all convincing any doctors in that hospital to take responsibility for the kids was a nightmare, because again they had this mindset of, if I help this person, I'm gonna take on their curse, and I don't want their curse. So she had to actually try and change the mindset, the belief system of these doctors to get them to actually help. And she did manage to get one, I think one or two, I'm not sure, I think it was one doctor who could actually help with that. The second thing was actually now to start getting people to feed these people, to nurture them, to make sure that, because these kids, apart from being differently abled, these are people who've been starving. Like, no one was taking care of them. So you're differently abled, you're already sick, no one is feeding you, have no proper nutrition. So she had to set up a program to get these kids to be fed and to be taken care of, and to have a comfortable place to sleep in that was clean, that they had beds and all that, because some of them didn't even have beds. Like, it was so horrible. And I remember hearing this story, and literally it actually brought me to tears, because I was like, why would anyone ever do that to another human being? And I'm sure when you look at the world, when you look at the situation in the world, and you're seeing the things that we human beings are doing to each other, it really does not make sense that there are people who actually have that kind of malice inside of them to go and hurt another person. That hurts me, honestly. I don't like listening or hearing those kind of stories, And now for this situation, remember, this is already the culture. So that's a whole different goal. It's not that they're doing it out of malice. It's something that it's been conditioned into them, that as long as you like this, you're a curse and you deserve to die. So I want to say, like, you can't really blame them for that, because they really don't know any better, or maybe no one taught them that. So what this lady actually did is that she set up an organization to try and educate the people in Haiti. I don't know if it was a town or the whole country, I don't know. Like, she set up a program where she'd actually give any woman who had a child who was differently able access to her organizations, where they'll be fed, the kid will be taken care of, and the women could actually be educated on how to better care for their children. So she started slowly trying to change the belief system in the society. So now I go back to my question is, if we as souls choose the experiences that we have currently, why will the soul choose to suffer in that way? And I went into deep meditation after this story, and I asked, like, why is this happening? Why is this being allowed? Like, why would a soul choose this, right? And the answer that came through for me was that Eva, you might look at it as suffering, like such a bad situation, but you're not looking at this other side, the good that actually came from this tiny little experience for this woman. That the fact that this woman, who was probably living the most comfortable life in the US, she didn't have to. I think she's from the US actually. She didn't have to do anything with her life. Like she could just continue existing the way she was existing, but something inside of her touched her that she actually felt she had to go and volunteer in Haiti to help the situation that was there. So from this suffering, one woman was able to get her purpose, her soul's purpose. And this is basically, it's become her mission, like to help out as many as she can. And she actually, I don't know if she actually takes care, like I think it's over 50 kids right now that she's adopted and she's literally taking care of daily. So from that suffering, from that one soul that chose that experience to come and suffer in that way, to be in that kind of condition, it was to help another soul to tap into a sense of compassion, a sense of fulfillment in their life, a sense of purpose, something that probably this person will never have experienced had there not been this suffering in existence. And that's how I want you to look at it. That so much good can come from that one thing. And look at it this way, that this one woman, okay, from getting inspired to go to Haiti and now sharing her story with the world, how many people is she helping to connect to that sense of compassion and wanting to help this situation as much as possible? That someone who's probably in Europe or Australia who hears this story, even you who's watching this story right now, you might actually get inspired to be like, you know what, I need to do better. I need to set aside a certain part of my income that I get monthly just to help out the people who are struggling out here, just from that one story. And you see the beauty in that, that just from one soul choosing to be born in that dire situation, they've already inspired so many people to tap into the other aspect of, compassion, understanding, and love towards others. And something, again, maybe these souls will never have been able to experience had this situation been there. Okay? I look at it as, even with the whole Nelson Mandela story, right? Like, that's a story that really inspires me. This Nelson Mandela was actually in prison for 27 years for just fighting for the freedom of his people. And he was so justified to be angry with the people who had caused him to suffer in that way. But based on that, and if I'm sure if you're watching this, you've heard the story of Nelson Mandela, that he forgave these people. He didn't come up and decide that I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna make you suffer for the things that you put me through. He chose forgiveness and he taught his people to forgive. Do you see the beauty in that? That from those 27 years of suffering, you might be looking at it and thinking, why? Why is this happening? Why me? Why me? Why is this happening? And that just from that, so much good has come from that. He taught an entire nation forgiveness, to learn how to forgive and love their neighbors, even with whatever was going on at that time. There's so much beauty in that. And mind you, that story will continue to inspire generation after generation after generation to learn the art or the beauty of forgiveness. So that's how I want you to look at it. The reason why some of us suffer is so that we can teach others to tap into their sense of purpose, to tap into lessons that they need to learn as souls. Okay? And that's really looking at it at a really bigger perspective. Let me bring it down to what maybe you might be going through right now. Maybe you're really struggling right now and you're asking, why me? Why me? Why is it always happening to me? Question, I might actually say I really don't know. Only you can know. And the best way to know that is just reconnect again with your soul and try and determine why am I going through this experience right now? What lessons does my soul need to learn from this pain? Because there's always a lesson to learn. Okay, it's really sad that the kind of experiences that we choose as humans is that we can only learn through suffering. That when things are great, we tend to forget what we are supposed to do as souls, and we tend to mess up when things are going all great. And it's only based on suffering that we actually sit down and start really evolving and learning and growing as souls. So if you're going through a certain kind of pain, certain kind of suffering, the best thing you can do for yourself is learn the lesson. Try, go connect with yourself, go into deep meditation, be mindful, and just ask, why am I going through this right now? What do I need to learn? And whatever it is that you need to learn, whatever comes through for you at that moment, see what new action you can take. Don't wait until tomorrow or the next month, because it only gets worse and worse and worse for you until you learn your lesson. It will keep getting worse and worse and worse, and you don't want that. You want to learn your lessons as quickly as possible. Take that initial step, take that action that you need to take to learn your lesson, and then move on to the next. Because you cannot graduate the class, you cannot go to the next part of your life as long as you're still stuck not learning the lessons where you currently are. And I'm gonna end this video today. I hope whatever I've said has inspired you. And again, let me know your reasons down below. I'm so curious to hear your perspective on that. And again, just reminding you to subscribe to my channel if you do like the kind of content I do share out here. So as always, I end my videos by showing you, or basically telling you how I can actually help you do that for yourself, reconnect with your soul, because my work is all about empowering you to tap into your own power, to remember who you were supposed to be, what lessons your soul actually came here to learn. Because here's the thing, in this day and age, we don't actually have to go through the veil of forgetting, because we've been given so many tools to help remind us who we're supposed to be. And those are the tools that I currently use with my clients to help them reconnect with their soul. So first of all, the first modality I do choose is soul realignment, which actually is based on working with the Akashic records. But the beauty in soul realignment is that, first of all, you get to discover who your soul is. Because here's the thing, you're not just this body that you see. A lot of people think that you're just this body, this is all that exists, but there's something deeper inside of you, your soul, that created this body to live this current human experience. So if you want to know who your soul actually is, who did God create you to be, what gifts was your soul given to help with your human experience, you can actually discover that with a soul realignment reading. You can discover where your soul first originated from. Which star system did you first incarnate to? Because here's the thing, you didn't first, for most people, not for most people, but for some souls, they didn't choose, or they didn't start their soul's experience in this planet. They started elsewhere before choosing to come here and learn whatever lessons they needed to learn. So if you would like to know where your soul is from and the characteristics of that you can tap into to live, to experience basically in this current human experience, you can learn that with the reading. You can also discover where are you currently vibrationally, because you need to raise your vibration in order to manifest the kind of experience you have. I think you've had this. If you've been in this world, you've had this concept before. So if you'd like to know which dimension your vibration is currently in, where are you getting your soul guidance from, that inner connection we're talking about, that inner guidance you need to connect with, which dimension is it currently at? Okay, so if you want to know where your soul is currently situated in your entire spectrum, you can actually discover that with the soul realignment reading. The last thing is that you get to discover your soul story. Basically, you go back to the particular lifetime that your soul started making negative choices, started making mistakes, which you're currently repeating in this lifetime, because a lot of the experiences that we're having right now are all connected. Most of them are connected to mistakes we made in the past. And we keep on incarnating over and over again to resolve these mistakes we made. in the past. Basically, we call that karma. You'll keep on attracting the same people and the same situations, the same experiences over and over again until you learn your lesson. But most people, they don't know what lessons these are, so they keep on making the same mistakes. So if you do not want to be one of these people, you can actually discover your soul story, the mistakes you made in the past, the mistakes that you're repeating right now, and know how to move on forward with your life and graduate now to the next part of your soul's experience, so that you're not stuck here in this current experience reliving the same mistakes over and over again. So you can actually discover that with the soul realignment reading. And last but not least is that you get to clear all of this karma, all this negative karma energetically through an Akashic, the soul realignment reading. We actually do it energetically, which actually impacts your day-to-day life, meaning that those people, those situations that you've been attracting over and over again, it kind of like you're gonna stop attracting, as long as now with the awareness you have with the mistakes that you've been making, and so that you don't repeat the same mistakes, you start making different choices. You will not attract these people or this situation to your current experience right now. So the soul realignment reading is so powerful, and I love it so much because it can impact and completely actually explain your entire life. All the experiences you've had, I've done this reading for a couple of people, and they love the fact that they can actually get an explanation as to why they've been having such difficult relationship with their loved one, with their mothers, with their fathers, with their sisters. Because there's a reason. You find that when we go to the soul story, they'll discover that in a previous lifetime, I actually had a problem with my mother and my father and my brother, probably in that lifetime, and I'm still repeating the same situation currently. So what can I do differently? If you've been struggling also, sorry, if you've been struggling with self-acceptance, you know, you lack, you don't even know who you are, you don't have an identity, you're so confused as to even what your gifts are. If you're curious to actually know your soul's identity, why you do what you do, because a lot of people don't know this, why the people around you do what they do, because they might be gifted differently compared to where your soul is right now. So if you're struggling with that lack of acceptance of yourself, lack of love for yourself, and you're struggling with attracting certain people in situations over and over again in your lifetime, you can check out the soul realignment reading, because it's such a powerful reading that might actually help you so much and really help you change your life in such an amazing and incredible way. So check out the link down below in the description box, and I do hope I'll see you on the other side. The last modality I do work with is called quantum flow. So quantum flow is about biohacking your nervous system, basically all the chakras that are inside of your body, getting the energy to flow again inside of your body. Because here's what most people don't know: a lot of the emotional wounds, a lot of the traumas that we've had all the way from our mother's womb, they're all recorded in our nervous systems. And how they're recorded is that they form certain crystals inside of your nervous system, and these crystals actually block the flow of energy inside of your body, meaning that right now for most people actually in this current planet, they're living based on blocks which are in their 3 lower chakras. And I'm going to be going into detail, more into detail on this if you book a session with me. So a lot of people are living based on their lower chakras, and they keep on attracting again situations that really don't serve their highest being based on this. And the mistake that most people make is that they focus on the mindset part and forgetting that you're not just your mind, you still have a physical and energy body, a spiritual connection, a mental body, an emotional body to take care of. So they just focus on the mindset part and forget to work on all of this. And with quantum flow, you get to actually rewire each and every area of your life: your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, your energy body, your physical well-being. You get to work on all these areas and get the energy flowing again, which actually again now impacts your outside world, meaning that if you're changing the vibration of who you are on the inside, it will also impact who you are attracting into your experience. So if you're curious about this, quantum flow can help you with this, and check out the session. I leave the link down below in the description box. And again, I do hope I'll see you on the other side. For now, I'm sending you so much love. Bye, and see you on the next video.